Hey everyone, welcome back. The 5th episode of Season 8 just aired, and so now we're going to break everything down. If you haven't seen the episode yet, this will be your chance to save yourself from any spoilers. Anyway, where should I start? I think most of us knew going in, this episode would not end on a high note. The episode started off with Jon arriving to Dragonstone, running into Varys where he basically pleaded with Jon, telling him he's seen more kings than any other living person, and just wants the right person to rule, inferring that Jon would be the greatest one he's seen that could lead. And once again, Jon says he never wanted to be a king. At this point, everyone knows Daenerys has veered too far from the path of being a just queen. Power has consumed her, and although Jon loves her, as the episode goes on, it doesn't take long for Aegon Targaryen to realize his queen has gone mad with rage. Of course, the showrunners have to speed through every moment due to how much needs to be wrapped up, and there just is not enough time. Tyrion reveals to Dany he told Varys of Jon's secret because Jon clued in Sansa and Arya, and now everyone who matters basically knows Jon's truth by now. Dany sees Jon as one who has betrayed her, along with all the others who passed the information along. Varys is executed by Dany's orders, and the death is carried out by Drogon's fire. Daenerys doesn't ever kill anyone herself. She uses Drogon to carry out the actual executions, something we should take note of, because if we look back at the very first episode of the series, Ned Stark tells Bran the honorable thing to do is the man who passes the sentence should swing the sword. Remember that, because it will become important later. During the battle, Dany and Drogon make quick work of the Iron Fleet, destroying their ships, their troops, and all of the Scorpions. It seems like all was going well for Daenerys. The Unsullied, the Dothraki, and the Northmen breached the gates of King's Landing, and for a moment it seemed Cersei's side was surrendering. However, Daenerys couldn't stop herself from burning down the entire city, as well as everyone inside. I know a lot of you are die-hard Daenerys fans, but I think we all have to agree Dany is worse than her father had ever been. When the Mad King Aerys Targaryen knew he had lost the rebellion, he couldn't face the truth, and that's why he ordered his hand to have the alchemists light the wildfire stashed under the entire city and wanted everyone in King's Landing to burn, hence the phrase, burn them all. Jaime slayed both Aerys' hand and Aerys himself, making sure the order was never carried out, gaining the title of Kingslayer for the rest of his life. Daenerys destroyed the capital city she always wanted to rule, and many men, women, and children along with it. Dany did not stop. She showed no mercy and really did burn them all. Among the many deaths of tonight's episode, there was Euron, Jaime, Cersei, Qyburn, the Hound, the Mountain, the Golden Company and its commander, the Lannister forces, the Iron Fleet. In fact, if foreshadowing is a major concept in Game of Thrones, the latest episode did not disappoint. Many years after her father's order of igniting the wildfire never came to pass, Daenerys set all of it off with the dragon fire burrowing deep into the foundation of the King's Landing buildings. We finally got Cleganebowl, and if you ask me, I wasn't overly relieved when it was over. Whatever Qyburn was able to do to Gregor Clegane, a blade through the skull couldn't even bring him down. Sandor tackled his brother through a crumbling wall in the Red Keep, and both fell to their death in a blazing fire. This is somewhat poetic since the Hound had half his face burned by his brother when they were children, and ever since then he feared fire. Now both Cleganes meet their fate in a fiery end. Arya barely made it out alive. That girl has overcome so much in these last 8 seasons. The question is, where does she go from here? Arya already told Gendry she wasn't the lady who would sit in a castle and enjoy the noble things in life her birthright grants her. That's just not Arya, so where will she end up? I have a hunch. She might go back to Braavos one day and serve the many-faced god at the House of Black and White. If the world lives on after the final episode of Season 8, there will continue to be people who must be sacrificed to the god of death, a duty we know Arya is well equipped to handle. And as for Jon, it doesn't matter how much he has fallen for Daenerys. What she is and what consumes her is something Jon can't brush off. He is a man of the highest honor, not because of who his parents were, because of the man who raised him. Jon won't be able to get past what Dany did to all of the people in King's Landing, and because of that, he knows what he must do. I think Jon was brought back by the Lord of Light to ultimately kill Daenerys, In the process, he fell in love with a woman, a blood relative who he saw as a savior, but those feelings have changed. Put simply, the way Jon feels about Dany at the end of the battle is like how he felt when he heard that the Freys killed Robb and Catelyn. In the books, a woods witch prophesied the prince that was promised, aka Azor Ahai, would come from the bloodline of Aerys and Rhaella Targaryen, Dany's parents, as well as Rhaegar's. Jon is Rhaegar's son, which means he too comes from the line of Aerys and Rhaella. The first Azor Ahai was said to have killed his lover, stabbing her in the heart with his sword Lightbringer, forging it solid. If Jon is the reincarnated Azor Ahai, it means it's in the cards for him to kill the one he loves, for the betterment of everyone around. And if anyone deserves this death, it would be Daenerys. And once he does it, he may be revered as a hero, or on the other side of the coin, a Queenslayer. Regardless, Jon knows the cost of such an action, and that is why I believe Tormund was foreshadowing his return to Castle Black, a place where criminals are granted their life in return for their full-fledged service to the Night's Watch. There may be no reason to man the wall anymore, now that the Night King has been destroyed, but as a man of honor, Jon will see to it he serves the rest of his life at the wall. I think Jon has subconsciously already decided when it was all over he would go back north where he once died, reuniting with Ghost, who he suspiciously sent back with Tormund and the Wildlings. That is most likely why Jon never properly said farewell to his direwolf. He knew he was coming back. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's breakdown. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you can be notified every day when a new video is posted. More to come tomorrow. For now, thanks for watching. As always, have a great day, take care, and I will see you tomorrow.